Biafra, my man. Oh yes, so run no me wanna wash nana. Biafra, my man. Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, Mama. The spirit of Biafra is upon me. That is why I am offering this song to our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa in Urobo dialect and Isoko. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Lucky star is sinking, I'm sinking, Udogu, Ekpa. Amorotomo agbada bururu. Amorotomo agbada bururu. Excellency Simon Ekpa. Nieruwe yo witruwe salute. With the sando, the freedom you brought to do well for us. Puro bisoko with the sando. No. Amarutomo agbada guru. PM Simon Joe, you have done so much for us. I am shedding tears of joy. Your tide cannot be seen easily. I search around the whole world, the greatest freedom fighter. We, the Robo and Isuku, we appreciate you awesome. Worry sister say you are so good, you are so wonderful. Clara Dimu say you are so good. Amorutamo agbada. Helen Peter say you are so good. That is the truth. Patricia Robo say you are so good. Amorutamo agbada guru. Bisoko with the sando. What a wonderful man. The good guy. It's only the food that we eat him. And I know those who are sitting at the fence in this Biafra struggle, they will not learn. Maybe they will learn in the grave. Urobisoko with the sando. The freedom you brought to do well for us. Worry sister say you are so good. Urobisoko with the sando. Paradim say you are so good. Anna Wabadaburu. Amarotomo Abadaburu. Amarotomo Abadaburu. Urobisoko with the sando. Urobisoko we throw a salute. Even lucky star, it is say do. You do well, it is say do. Bricky star, you do well, we salute you, we throw a salute. Patricia Urobo say you are so good, you are so good. Amarotomo Agbadaburu. I am in tears of joy For your good one cannot be quantified. Oh, Amorotomo Agbadaguru. Ewo, Isuko Bidise.
Those of you who are hardcore, those who were chosen before you were born. There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who from their mother's womb were born. Do this very well. You must be very, very strong.
Maka nwere onwe ka anyị na-aga biko kulie n'oge ruo biko kulie ihe ga-amalike n'oge ruo o nwere ndị akpọrọ oku maka nwere onwe anyị o nwere ndị akpụrụ chekwa maka nwere onwe ụmụ Biafra biko kulie n'oge ruo biko ihe ga-amalike n'oge ruo the spirit of Biafra biko kulie n'oge ruo nwere ndị Biafra gidi ebube biko bilie n'oge ruo Ọhamadike nọ na dungeon unu ga-ekwe ka ihere mee ya gbuo dike mposi ike ruru achọba dike biko kulie n'oge ruo biko kulie ihe jamadike n'oge ruo. The Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in exile, Mazi Simon M. Eton Sumudu Sregabaniru na Ebuja. Nebadra Damo Mayebudo. Ogine. Mazi Simon Epa emezu wokokwere onye ndu. Ihe jamadike ruo imakwa Simon Epa wujie. Ihe jamadike ruo Simon Epa watakata abụọ. Ojuda kwenyi mkwigwere onye ndu gị na-eme tata. I will follow you, I will follow you, I will follow you, never do that. I will follow you. Mwa Prime Minister nwere onye ndu anyị ga-agbanụ ga-aka ebe follow you. Anyị na I will follow you, I will follow you. Mwa Simon Ekpa nwere onye ndu. The question is this: if Nigerian government failed to organize referendum for children of Biafra, are you ready to lead us to do anything in order to get freedom from Biafra? And I'm going to be number one to follow you. If you're looking for 100 men, you'll find 50 in me. Okwe Bucharangwe, Mazi Simon Epa, Ogene. Mazi Simon Epa, Biko, Kisiki, Kaka, Nogu. Atakata kaina boki Ojuda uweyi Mkwigolonye ndu kine metata. I am 50 men, oh yes, and I said cross. I will follow you, I will follow you, I will follow you, never look back. I will follow you. Prime Minister Veronye, Aniga Manuga, I will follow you. Anina, I will follow you. I will follow you. What's that Ọhamadike Biafra, Dahi Moro Gabiarole. Iye Jamadike Ruo, Biafra Republic Government Abuja. Iye Jamadike Ruo, Commander General Lewejiri. General Buduso, Sona Atakata War. Commander Holy Ghost,
maka Biafra. Wero putara anyị onye ndu Simon Efa
Witness me, I want to remain in the street because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have sealed, we have shed blood, they have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, oh Lord of hosts, to have mercy on us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day Chukwa Biama Binigwe whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word, which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist? You opened your mouth, to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoto. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy, because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All these we pray, all these we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said,
Biafra Republic! Biafra Republic!
Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on this morning program. I appreciate everyone that has connected on this very program this morning. It is a very special section. As you all know, today is a very remarkable and important day. If you are genuinely a Biafran, you must pay attention on what is going on today. For those who are coming to this platform for the very first time, I want you to know that this platform where you are watching this program is a platform that is under the Biafra government. A platform under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the Supreme Command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. in this very platform. We do not come here to instigate violence. We don't come here to preach hate. We do not come here to attack any race or religion. We don't come here for saga. We come here to speak the word about the situation of the Biafran people. That is what we do in this platform. If you are watching us from TikTok, or you are watching from Facebook, or you are part of us in the David Harbour channel where I am hosting this program, feel free to join us. If you are watching the program on the David Harbour channel, you can see the link posted. That link posted there is for anyone that wants to make a contribution onto the program to click the link and join. Everyone has the right to use that link and come into the program. There is no law that says that you must be a Biafran for you to join us on this program, whether you are a Biafran or non-Biafran. It doesn't matter what you believe in. Whatever be your ideology, keep it for yourself and then come here and make your contribution. Ask your question. Any question you want to ask us, feel free to ask. Remember, in this platform, we represent the government of Biafra under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra, and on the command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Supreme Leader of IPOB. Wherever you are watching us from, I welcome you to this very platform. I thank you for being part of the program today. Today is a special day, and we want to dedicate the program of today to our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. As you all know, the Supreme Leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Zoological Republic are taking him to their court today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to appear in the court of the enemy today. It means that every single one of us is going to be in court today. This very morning, 9 a.m. to be precise. Is it 10 a.m. to be precise? The Supreme Leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is going to be in court, and every one of us will be there with him. And we will try as much as possible to capture the update while we are here making the program, and we will be showing you the update that is coming. And before we get into the program or the updates, we are going to do some revisions of where we are coming from. We are going to make some revisions, referring back to where we are coming from, playing some old videos and reminding you the stance of our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. For those of us who are confused, for those who pretend to be Biafrans in their mouths, but in their hearts they are not. For those who are pushing a different agenda, instead of pursuing that agenda, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the DSS. Today, we are going to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu once again. And you know, every time Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appears in the court, it's always a bombshell. There is something to learn. Every single time he appears in court, there is something to be revealed. There's something to learn. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu doesn't need to use a microphone today. He doesn't need to sit behind a microphone to talk to us. All you need to do is to watch Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, see him and his expression. You can be able to read so many minutes into it. For those of us who have been following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for a very long time, some of us since 2011, 2015, from the first kidnap up to this time, you can be able to deduce some information each time you hear him come out and speak. I thank Chukwu that these days, every time he appears in court, we always have that privilege to hear one or two words from him. And for every information we hear from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he has a lot to tell. He has a lot of direction to give us. He has a lot of encouragement to give us. That is why every single one of us must pay attention to the program of today. And in this program, if you are watching me from YouTube, please like and share the program. Click like and share so that other people that has confusion can come in and listen. Those who have questions can come in and ask their question. Those who want to say prayers to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you can come and say your prayer on this platform. Those who have one or the other to say, to speak, suggestions, ideas to bring in, come up on this platform on the David Harbour channel. Those who are watching me where I'm hosting this program on the David Harbour channel, you have the freedom to come in and speak. In this very platform, there is no political correctness. We say things exactly the way they are. Whatever be your own idea or your opinion, you are entitled to your opinion. when you come out, the only thing we beg you is that when you appear on this platform, please appear in a decent way, because we are representing the Biafran people. We are representing the government of Biafra, and we must appear on this platform in a decent manner. When you appear on the platform, whatever you are going to speak about, whatever suggestion you're going to be, whatever question you're going to ask, whatever thing you want to say, showing your anger, your grievances, please do it in a civil manner. That is all we ask. Whatever you want to do it in a civil manner on this platform. As long as you do that, you will have all the time in the world to express yourself and say what you want to say. At the end of the day, it's either you learn from us or we learn from you. Nobody knows it all. But while you are coming in, make sure you have facts. Make sure you can defend your arguments. Make sure that you can pass information that can be digested by the Biafrans and the people of the world that are watching. Today, they are bringing an innocent man to the court of Nigeria, to the Zoological Republic court. Mind you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader of IPOB, has no case to answer in the court of the zoo. Do not forget this. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer in the court of the zoo. He has passed through the whole process of the court. And he won his case from the lowest court to the highest. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu won his case. At a point in time, a judge in the court of the zoo said that no law court in Nigeria has the right to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu until they explain the situation surrounding his kidnapping. For those who did not know, we know that a lot of people are watching us, people who are not Biafrans, people who are not Nigerians, people of the world are watching. We are talking about the supreme leader of IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He was kidnapped from Kenya. His journey to Kenya was a legal journey. He traveled to journey with his British passport legally. In Kenya, the Nigerian government went to Kenya, kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They tortured him for good 8 days, tied him on the ground, tortured him. After 8 days, the rendition, extraordinary rendition him to Nigeria, hooded, covered his head, hooded. They took him all the way from Kenya, brought him to Nigeria. From Nigeria, they took him into solitary confinement. For the past 3 years, he has been in that solitary confinement, wearing only one cloth. When they were talking for political solution, we say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released unconditionally. For those who were asking for political solution, the government of Nigeria said there will be no political solution, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has to pass through the process of the court. That he has to pass through all the process of the court. At the end of it all, if it's innocent, he will be let go. As we speak today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has passed through the process of the court for the past 3 years. From their lowest court to the highest court. None of those courts was able to convict Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Every charges they level against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was quashed and thrown away. None of the court was able to convict Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was pronounced innocent, but the government of Nigeria refused to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Instead, they referred Mazi Nnamdi Kanu back to where he started, to the lower court, to start again from the high court and begin to come up, just to make sure they continue to hold him in captivity. For those who did not know, when you hear that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to appear in court, it is not because he committed a crime. It is not his coming to answer a case. It is not because he did anything wrong. It is because the Zoological Republic called Nigeria has refused to let go of an innocent man whose only crime is that he is asking for the freedom of people. The request of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is grant referendum to Biafra people, allow them to decide their fate. And the government of Nigeria said no. The government of Nigeria refused to allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to speak up for his own people. One of the greatest offenses Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have committed against the zoo is because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went into the media, began to educate not only the Biafrans, he was able to educate every indigenous person in the Zoological Republic. Today, everyone in the zoo understands the criminality of the government of Nigeria. Everyone today understands that Nigeria is not meant for them. Everyone today knows that Nigeria was not built to serve anybody in the zoo, but to serve the interests of the enemy. But they have refused to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And they think that by holding him captive, that they are going to suppress the will of the people. They have tried everything they can. They have made several promises to him. They have bribed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, have refused to accept their bribe. They have tried on several occasions to bribe Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to see if they can be able to convince him and confuse him and make him to walk away from the freedom of his own people. They want to make him stop asking for the freedom of his own people, but they were not able to do that. After they have made all this trial and didn't succeed, after all, they came on, and today they are holding him and they say they are bringing him back to court. This is after he has won all his cases. The person they are bringing to court has no case to answer. And that was why our Prime Minister made a tweet when he said that no trial is going to hold. No trial will be held. And that is where the legal team of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is supposed to stand. No trial will go on because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no case. And by the way, whatever that telling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, remember, the case in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is that the government of Nigeria went to his home to take his life. When they went to his house to find him, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, by the special grace of Chukwu, escaped, and they were not able to take his life. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu survived that very assassination through the grace of Chukwu, and he ran for his own life. This was why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was waiting for their court, just like today. He was waiting to appear in their court. In fact, he announced it and said that he is coming to answer for his case, and he's going to come with a 1 million men march into Abuja to come and answer his case. They couldn't wait. They went to his house to take his life, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu left for his life. Today, that is part of the case they are judging Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And they use their media for a very long time to continue to push lies and say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never jumped bail. 2015, when he was arrested, why was he arrested? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was arrested simply because he was educating for his people, asking the Nigerian government to conduct a referendum for the people to decide where they belong. That is the only crime he committed. Why must he be speaking on radio? And they said he's instigating violence. How is it instigating violence? How is telling somebody to stand up and ask for what is his right? How is it instigating violence? Just like as I'm on this very platform speaking, I'm telling Biafrans of their rights to self-determination, their right to self-defense, and their right to life. How is that a crime? That is what we are charging Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they wanted to take him out because then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was the only loud voice that they were seeing. They didn't succeed, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu escaped for his life. Since then, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not stop. Instead, he went further to educate even more people. More people got the information. More people got woken up. More people got the knowledge. Not only the Biafrans, the people from the southwest, the people in the north and in the middle belt, everyone started speaking up. Today, that you see people talking about restructuring in the Senate, in the House Assembly, is because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it was a taboo to mention restructuring in the Senate. You dare not say it. But today, you can see the debate on the media. You can see people talking about it. But I tell you, we have gone past what they call restructuring today. The level we are today in Biafra restructuring is no longer, we have nothing to do whatever called restructuring or regional government. We are in a time, we have come to a time where the only solution that remains today is disintegration of Nigeria. End it all. Let every section go to separate ways. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started this very foundation. And when he was calling for Nigerian government to do the needful, they never did what they're supposed to do. Instead, they were busy chasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to take his life. They wanted to take his life by all means, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was standing strong on his word. He never missed a day. He never shivered. He never wavered. He never stepped back for a second. He continued to preach the message until he got to a time when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saw that the only solution now is total and absolute freedom. Total and absolute freedom. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have stopped asking for restructuring for a very long time. The last time Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave the opportunity for restructuring was when the governors came to him after they released him in 2015. After the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in 2015, the governors came to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and they asked Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what do you want? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told them the independence of Biafra. And they said, why don't we go for a regional government or restructuring? If Nigeria can be restructured in such a way that it will favor everyone, can we now come in and now embrace it and do what we have to do? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told them, the governors and politicians in Biafra land, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told them, go and negotiate for your restructuring. When you bring that restructuring, we will give it to Biafran people. If the Biafran people accept restructuring, I have nothing to say. I cannot object to that. But we cannot stop doing what we are doing while you have not offered anything. Go to Abuja. Tell them our demands. Remind them of the important things they have to do for the Biafran people. The request was very simple. What did they do? The governors, the politicians, instead of going to Abuja to fight for that restructuring, instead of going to Abuja to fight for the right of the people, they went to Abuja and they brought Python dance. They went to Abuja and brought Python dance. You know what happened in Python dance? It was that Python dance that many Biafrans lost their life. Thousands of Biafrans lost their life in that Python dance. In the same Python dance, that was where they came into the house of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to take his life. You know what transpired? The process of invasion of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's home led to the death of his parents. His mother and his father lost their life, and the two of them were buried on the same day without the presence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu lost his two parents, and they were buried same day. He wasn't present. He couldn't be able to attend the burial. Now you understand. From that moment onwards, the end of restructuring came to an end. Restructuring, regional government, discussions, everything that has to do with the politicians came to an end. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu announced it by himself and said, there will be no more election in Biafran territory. I am reminding you all this because some idiots today who claim to be with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the IPOB in Nigeria today, who are following the politicians, this is what they did to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave them every human opportunity. Every golden opportunity was given to them to make things happen. They did not. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu drew the line after they took the life of his parents, destroyed his home, sent him to exile, and thousands of Biafrans lost their life. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu drew the line. He couldn't hold it anymore. That was when he drew the red line. But today you see some idiots who come out to preach a different thing. Even before then, before the invasion of his house, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu already have seen it that these people are not ready to have a change. He drew the line. Immediately the governors went and negotiated for that Python dance. When the governors did this plan, instead of going for restructuring, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saw that it was all over and he continued on his campaign. After that, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was interviewed in the Zoological Republic. In that interview, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said in ABC, there is nothing you will offer me to stop fighting for Biafra. It is either Biafra or that. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was granted interview in the zoo after the governors have lost the opportunity and he saw that these people have nothing to offer and they are not ready to have a change. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu drew the line. In an interview that was granted in the zoo, some of you have forgotten. I am going to play that interview. Let us watch and hear Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speak.
What does Biafra mean?
It means freedom, liberty, fairness, equity, and justice.
In practical terms, these are very good sounding words.
This very interview was after the governors have failed. After the meeting with the governors, they failed woefully. And the pattern dance is on already. The heat is on everywhere in Biafra land. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was doing the interview. They were seeking for a way to see maybe they can offer Mazi Nnamdi Kanu something, because initially they have offered him even all you well, money, vice president. He refused. He said, freedom is all I want for my people. They came to interview him here. Listen to the response of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the time he drew the line.
But in practical terms, what does Biafra mean?
Confederation.
So a weak center,
Very weak.
very strong regions.
Absolutely.
Have you had a change of mind, therefore, about getting an independent Biafra? Because that's what I seem to be hearing.
No, I've not changed my mind, no. And even if Biafra means going back to where we were before the white man came.
Okay, so you're not talking about a federation when you say a confederation. You're not talking about a federation as part of Nigeria. You're talking about total independence.
Absolute independence.
Complete independence. Now, is there anything that can happen that will make you change your mind about this particular direction?
No.
I want you to pay attention to this very question. Is there anything that will make you change your mind from asking for the independence of your people? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu didn't hesitate to answer. He said, capital, no. Is there any other thing that can be done to make you stop asking for the freedom of your people? Is there anything that will be done to make you begin to consider maybe restructuring, maybe regional government, maybe... He said, capital, no. I want you to pay attention to the response of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now you understand why the idiotic people are fighting, why they sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, those political idiots.
Make you change your mind about this particular direction?
No.
So it's complete independence. Now, is there anything that can happen that will make you change your mind about this particular direction?
No.
So
No.
it is either Biafra or nothing else.
Or death. Yes.
Or death.
That's good.
You heard him. It is either Biafra or death. He made it very clear. He did not hesitate. There is nothing you can offer me. There is nothing you can do. There is no option, nothing again on the table. It is either Biafra or death. It's either you give him Biafra or he die fighting for Biafra. And I want you to pay attention to this very response of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is the position of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This has been the position of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu up to this moment as we speak. And I believe by the time Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appears today, this will still be his stand. That is why when you see people fighting against our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, you know that these idiots, they have nothing to offer. They have not been fighting for Biafra, and they will never fight for Biafra. Let us pay attention.
Is there anything that can happen that will make you change your mind about this particular direction?
No.
So it is either Biafra or nothing
Or
else.
death. Yes.
Or death.
That's good.
If push comes to shove,
Yes.
will you go to war?
No, because truth is a far more potent and deadlier weapon than bullets and mortars.
So no war. You've ruled out the...
Absolutely, I don't believe in war. No, no war. When I say Biafra or death, I'll keep pushing. Either I am alive, I die in the process. I won't stop.
Did you hear him? Either he comes alive or he will die in the process. He was asked if he go to war. He said no, he will go to war. In the same vein, our Prime Minister have explained that we cannot go to conventional warfare with the zoo. We will not engage the zoo in a conventional warfare. Some of you, when you get to this part where he said he's not going to war, some of you get confused. Our Prime Minister said the same thing. He is not going to conventional warfare with the zoo. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that he is not going to war, it doesn't mean that he will fold his hand and allow his people to be killed. Today, what you are seeing Mazi Simon Ekpa doing is carrying up that legacy, defending the Biafran people. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said he's not going to war. The same Mazi Nnamdi Kanu established the ESN to protect life and property of Biafran people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu established ESN to protect life and property of the people. Exactly the same thing Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing today, using the Liberation Army of Biafra after the ESN have been disbanded and corrupted. After the IPOB Nigeria took the ESN that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu created by themselves and handed it over to the governors. They said it by themselves. It is not a propaganda. I played the video. I don't have the video now. When I played it, where you will see them confessing. Their HOD or whatever confessed with his own mouth that they handed over IPOB to the governors. You heard when, what they call him, Soludo. Soludo came online and said that he is now working with the IPOB in Nigeria. The same way they were working with Hobos of them. And Mazi Simon Ekpa created the Liberation Army of Biafra to defend and protect life and property of Biafra people. The same thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did. And they corrupted it. They destroyed it because of his absence. Mazi Simon Ekpa came and hold up to that legacy and make it much more stronger than it can ever be. And he also said, we will not go to conventional warfare with the zoo. We are going to continue to defend our land. Self-defense to the highest level. That is what you are seeing in Biafran territory. But the idiotic idiots, those ones that have shallow mind, whose brain have been polluted and corrupted, cannot be able to digest the fact that the Biafrans are able to defend themselves today. I want you to listen, for you to know the mindset of the man that is coming to court today and why we are standing strong, demanding for his unconditional release. And there is no law court in the world that can be able to push him behind bar. That is why they are holding him against his will. Prisoner of conscience. Listen to him.
Allow me to repeat, if you don't mind. Had sovereign national conference been convened by the powers that be, where every ethnic national, I said every, I don't care if there are 600, I don't care. Everyone is
all the 500 plus.
Everyone together to say this is, or others can delegate, I don't know, powers to other people to attend on their behalf. Sit down to say, what type of country do we want? Sit down, discuss, agree. I can begin to perhaps submit to your position. Is it too late? It is way too late.
Did you hear that? The woman asked him, is it late? He said, it is way too late. And I want to ask you, a Biafran, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu could say in 2016 that it is too late to begin to talk about unity, to begin to talk about restructuring, to begin to talk about any other issue apart from freedom. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu could say that time that it's too late, what do you think he will be saying in 2024, September? Do you know how many Biafrans that have lost their life from that 2016 up to this moment? Do you know how many Biafrans have lost their life from the moment Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made this video, this interview? When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu granted this interview, he has not lost the 28 men in his compound. Jack has not been buried. He has not lost his parents, yes. Can you tell me, will Mazi Nnamdi Kanu be saying a different thing in 2024 that we have lost thousands and thousands of people, even before he made this statement? Today, you see some idiotic people going along to preach something different from what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stands for. This is the man that is coming to court today. When we stand and we demand his unconditional release, and when we say that it is only we, the Biafran, that we activate the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you don't understand. The only people that can release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is you that is watching me. It is me. What we are doing, the action on the ground, what the Prime Minister is doing today with the government of Biafra and the Liberation Army is what will release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Nothing else. We are not expecting any handout from the zoo. We are not. An innocent man who is making a legitimate demand, and you heard him say, it is too late. It is way too late.
I can begin to perhaps submit to your
Is it
position.
too late?
It is way too late. They've killed too many people.
They have killed
ruined
so
too
many
many
people.
lives.
Did you hear him? He said it is way too late. They have killed so many people. If he can say that as at when they arrested him before, what do you think he'll be saying today? Do you know how many people that have lost their life since the terrorists of Nigerian government have now entered into Biafra land using their uniform to take life, destroy lives and property? Do you think that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is outside, what do you think he'll be saying today? It is so sad that these idiots who claim to be standing with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are the real enemies of the Biafran people. Let's
have submit to your
Is it too
position.
late?
It is way too late. They've killed too many people. They've ruined too many lives. They've wasted too many souls. How do we bring those people back?
If the federal government, given the agitation that is going on, becomes convinced that, you know what, these people have a point, it is time to actually address all these issues, and they begin to systematically address some of these issues, would you change your mind?
No, because...
Did you hear him? This was a straightforward question. If the government begin to tell you, okay, now we have to restructure, now we have to do, would you change your mind? A direct question. If the government begin to address this issue because we are complaining and they say, okay, now would you change your mind? And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu answered. On this answer, we are building the foundation of the government of Biafra today. On this answer is what Mazi Sabaraba is standing today. That is why we don't believe any bullshit they are talking in their court and out of the court. Asorok is ended. Everything that comes from there is trash. It is based on this that our Prime Minister Mazi Sabaraba said that we will not take any order coming from the DSS based on what you have Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said here. I want you to pay attention. For those of you who don't understand, pay close attention. You will understand.
I'm convinced that, you know what, these people have a point. It is time to actually address all these issues, and they begin to systematically address some of these issues. Would you change your mind?
No, because of the deceptions of the past.
No trust.
No trust. Aburi was there, it was negotiated. Nothing happened. 1968, if I recall. And the confab report, what became of it? How about the 3 R's? Reconciliation, reconstruction, and heaven knows what else. What became of them? Nothing. Calabar Seaport is not working. Can you tell me why it's not working? It's a seaport used by the colonial masters. Why is it not working today? How about Iguacha Seaport? Why is it not being used? Why not worry? Why must we allow only Lagos to function as a viable seaport? In England, where I used to live, you had Liverpool, you had the Sun, which is Portsmouth, you had Southampton, everywhere. You had harbors and ports. So why must you have only one?
I've heard people say these are very valid arguments, and that these are things that are to do with bad governance. So the average Biafran, to use your phrase, or Igbo man in the Igbo, is facing poverty much in the same way that the average guy in Yobe State is facing poverty. And so these are issues of governance. You don't agree with that?
I agree completely.
Okay. So if that is it, why isn't the agitation about tackling the problem, which is ensuring good governance, perhaps starting from locally? Because part of the allegations against you is that you don't confront your political leaders in the East, and you'd like to blame Abuja for everything.
Because the way I would want to solve a problem is not how a Fulani man would want to solve it.
You really believe this is an ethnic thing, and the approach is different?
No, the approach is different. No, it's not ethnic. It is more to do with value system.
Right.
The way you may want to solve a problem could be markedly different from how I do mine.
What is the geographical makeup of Biafra, as far as you are concerned, this Biafra that you want? So for example, if we're doing a referendum, where will that referendum take place? Is it only the 5?
No.
It's okay.
It's on.
First of all, you had Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say, why we can never ever be together in the zoo is because of the value system. The value system. The diversity is so much that they do not resemble or meet anywhere. The diversity in Nigeria is a destructive one. Our value system is not the same. The way we handle issues and the way a Fulani man handle issue is not the same. The way the Oduduwa people handle issue and the way the Biafra handle, the way the Middle Belt handle and the way the Biafra handle is that we have the diversity is so much that we cannot meet. There is no meeting point. That is why we will not, under any condition, listen to anything that they are saying. The only alternative and solution remains to end it all. Let everybody go their separate ways peacefully through a self-referendum, but they have refused. Since they have refused, we have taken the bull by the horn as it stands today. And I tell you, every region in Biafran territory, the old southeastern region, which comprises the today present south, south, and southeast, Lower Benue and Lower Kogi, we are one people and we are living this zoo. And I want you to hear it clearly from our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Which is River State, Bayelsa, Delta, Anambra, Imo, Enugu, Ebonyi, Cross River,
Akwa Ibom?
and Akwa Ibom, of course.
Right.
Those are the coasters. Basically,
Bayelsa?
yes. Southeast and South-South without Edo State.
Without Edo State.
That's correct. And then including Igede, Idoma.
Right, the Benues. So
That's
the
correct.
Igalas and part of the Kogi,
Yes.
Kogi State, right?
Yeah.
Nyesom Wike, the governor of Anambra, sorry, the governor of River State, made a statement, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday,
yes, I heard about it.
and said, you know, you should not be including River State
It's for
and
people
the
of River State to decide,
people.
not him. I can't decide for Biafrans. You have to go and vote and convince the whole world that they want Biafra. It's not for instance, it's only one man, one vote.
What if they're not even willing to take part in the referendum? Because I've had people from the South, for example, from Bayelsa, I've had people from Cross River. I think there's a famous actress, Kate Henshaw, for example, wrote a long piece about why people of the South don't want to be dragged into a place called Biafra. You're saying, regardless of what they say, you want a referendum in those parts?
Because I know the majority of the people want a referendum. I was in Iguacha yesterday.
How do you know?
I was there yesterday. I was in Iguacha yesterday. You call Port Harcourt. I was there yesterday. I should have been there to see what happened.
Now,
They were delighted to see me. I'm sure you know that. It's all over the place. They're very happy to see me. I bet Kate Henshaw wouldn't get such reception were she to go to
as a
Iguacha.
big popular Nollywood actress, I wouldn't necessarily.
I'm telling you, if I go to her village, people will turn out to see me more than turn out to see her.
Now you just heard from our student Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is one man, one vote. There is no point like those who are arguing. You say, "Oh, I'm not part of the Biafra. You are not doing it. This Biafra will not hold. Biafra is not going to happen." You don't waste your energy. Join the referendum. Once the referendum is conducted, majority carries the vote. Your vote will speak for you. Democracy is a game of number. One man, one vote. It is not something to fight about. That you don't want it. There is no time every one of us will always like Biafra. There is people who have a different opinion. Those who have a different opinion will always be there. They will always be there. But does that change the fact? It will not change the fact. The fact always remains the fact. And it doesn't matter what you think, it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter how you say it. The truth will always be there. That is why when we see certain things, we don't respond to it. Today, you have seen the self-referendum conducted by the Prime Minister Mazi Samaneba. More than 50 million Biafrans voted. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. And if you feel it is not okay, go and conduct yours. Today, we have laid the foundation. You saw Mazi Nnamdi Kanu there. And now we are going to go deep and let us see the previous appearance of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in court, the lessons we learned, and what we saw. Let us just get some videos from his previous appearance in the court.
morning.
Good morning.
Every time you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appear in court, it is always a different issue. All you need to do is to observe him, watch him. You will learn a lot of lessons. You will learn a lot of lessons. His presence alone is empowering. He has never shivered. He has never gone back from who he was. He's always the same. Very, very vibrant. Even in the most difficult situation, the only thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu desire is the genuine freedom of the Biafra people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the territory of the enemy. As you see him, he's not looking so strong, he's not healthy, but even in the difficult situation, he is still there, speaking on your behalf, speaking on my behalf, making sure that we are free. This is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing for you and I.
But that's what you wrote. You said
we cannot do otherwise. Every time he appears, you will learn one lesson or the other from him. Every time you see him, there is always something to learn. If you don't learn, it means you're not paying attention. Everyone that pays attention will always have something to learn. This is one of.
So I think we should focus our time and devote it towards making sure that this continent stands up to what God promised it is going to be. And that's why we're doing what we are doing.
You heard Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speak. I want you to hear him. Hear him again.
Yes. And the family is now in mourning.
yes.
So all the making of young widows is condemned in its entirety. I don't want it. I don't want anybody to die.
Yes.
We are fighting for freedom. Then how can we fight for them at the same time? It's not possible. We want people to be free. That's what we're fighting for. Nothing more. We've suffered a lot in Africa. I don't know if you know that. Africans have suffered from slavery in Arabia to slavery in Europe to slavery in America. So I think we should focus our time and devote it towards making sure that this continent stands up to what God promised it is going to be. And that's why we're doing what we are doing.
This is why I tell people that the pursuit of Biafra is not a selfish one. When you see us talking about Biafra, it is not just for the Biafran people alone, people in the old Southeastern region. It is also affecting those who are in other regions. For every indigenous person in Nigeria, it is for your own sake we are asking for Biafra. It is for your own security, for your own freedom, for your own health and security. In extension, it is for Africa as a whole. That was why our Prime Minister made a program which he said, in Biafra, Africa died. And in Biafra, Africa will resurrect. That is the word of our Prime Minister that he made in one of his programs. He said, in Biafra, Africa died. And in Biafra, Africa will resurrect. Take it or leave it. That is an absolute truth. Those of you who are envious, the Afonjas, who are just fighting the Biafran restoration because they feel that when Biafra goes out of the zoo, that they are going to suffer much in the hand of the Janjaweed. It is not so. The freedom of Biafra will also give you that courage to have your own freedom. The freedom of Biafra is going to be so infectious that it's going to affect every part of the zoo. It is going to affect them. So why are you worried? Why are you fighting Biafra? Simply because you feel that when Biafrans exit, that you'll be trapped. You will not be trapped. All you need to do is to stand up today and begin to build your own region. If you're from Odudua land, stand with the Odudua people. Stand with the Odudua people. Support the restoration of Odudua land and build it. If you're from the Middle Belt, join with the Middle Belt Union. If you're from the North, the Hausas can stand up and rise up, and as they are rising, we can hear the Hausas rising. Something that has never happened before. Today, the Hausas are speaking up, even though their voice is low. But a time is going to come when they are going to take back what belongs to them. After all, the Fulanis, how many are they? How many are the Fulanis? How many are they? But the Hausas allowed them to penetrate. And when they came in, they began to invite the Fulanis all over the world. That is why they opened the gate of hell in the northern part of Nigeria. Today, the northern part of Nigeria is in the hand of the terrorist Fulanis. The northern part of Nigeria is in the hand of, that is why you see them, they have taken over some villages in the northern part of Nigeria, and the government is doing nothing about it. They don't care. This is why they're holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu message woke up the Hausas. The Hausas today are standing up for what is happening there against them in the northern part of Nigeria. When you hear decimation of life in northern Nigeria, people, they are taking their life in Zamfara and all places. These are the indigenous people. These are the indigenous people. The Fulanis are running rampage on that area. Nobody can fight for them. Nobody can speak for them. But I thank you that for us Biafrans, we are never left without a leader. The supreme leader of IPOB did the work. And today, even when they took him away from us, the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra, have made it possible today that what happened to the Hausas can never and will never happen to us in Biafra land. What happened to the Hausas will never and can never happen to us in Biafra land. Just like what happened to Lebanon. Just like what happened to Lebanon. Lebanon used to be a Christian country. But all of a sudden, you wake up today and you see it has become a different thing altogether. Hausas used to lead themselves, have their leaders and rulers. They woke up and they discovered that the Fulanis have taken over. If you don't learn from history, it will always repeat itself. The only thing other regions in Nigeria should do is to learn from the Biafran people, borrow leaf from Biafra. If you don't do that, you are going to regret. The consequence is going to be very high. The consequence is going to be very high. The only thing you have to do today, if you love yourself, is to support the restoration of independence of Biafra. Whether you are a Biafran or not, as long as you are indigenous to Nigeria, support it. It is for your own good. It is for your own benefit. When Biafra becomes free, you will be free. If Biafra remains in Nigeria, you are doomed. Every appearance of our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a lesson. And now you had him. His fight is not just for the Biafran people or for Nigeria, it is for humanity, for Africans as a whole. Let's hear him again.
I will continue to do so until that day.
Every time you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there is always a lesson to learn. If you fail to learn that lesson, it is up to you. If you fail to learn that lesson, you will definitely learn it, but in a hard way. And I want to play another video. This is one of the places where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made a case for himself. When you hear him here, you will understand the situation of things. The person you are seeing is not in good health. But in that difficult situation, he is still fighting for you. He is still fighting for you. Wearing the same clothes for the past 3 years. Under solitary confinement. He has known, after all the torture they gave him for 8 days in Kenya, brutal torture, he has not been given any proper treatment. He has a lot of health problems, health challenges. Even when he has won his case, they refuse to allow him to go and take care of himself. But we will never stop. As long as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the forefront fighting the way he told us he's going to fight, we ourselves have to fight more. We need to fight more. Fight more, much more than ever.
The defendant has now applied for bail. Now, as I've said earlier, bail is a decision of the court taking into consideration all the conditions laid down in Muhammad Abacha v. State. At this stage, I am of the opinion that to make or take a stand on the bail application without first hearing and determine the issue that is glaring in the face, which is the absence of the defendant from the court since 25th of April 2017 until he was produced on the 29th of June. My Lord, which was exactly what the Supreme Court did. They said that he did not jump bail. These criminals came to my house to kill me. That's what the Supreme Court said. This is in your own court, my Lord.
So I cannot understand, my Lord, why my trial will be conducted contrary to the Constitution of Nigeria that said I must have free and unfettered access to my counsel. It's here. This is the law of Nigeria.
You had Mazi Nnamdi Kanu there making a case for himself. That is the situation. The Zoological Republic law, their own judge agreed that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any offense. Their courts agree that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any offense anywhere. He didn't jump bail. He didn't jump bail. One of the easiest thing the court of the zoo should have done if they are genuine is to reinstate his bail. That is the very first thing they would have done. To reinstate his bail. But what did they do? Instead of reinstating his bail, they went ahead and continued to attack him. They went ahead to continue to hold him. They went ahead to kidnap him and continue to hold him for more than 3 years now. For more than 3 years. Still counting. Even when their court has confirmed and say he did not jump bail, you can see the frustration our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing over there. You can see. You can see for yourself what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going through. He came to a time that he couldn't handle it anymore. He had to speak by his own self to let the court understand, in case they think he doesn't, maybe they think he's out of his mind. This is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speaking eloquently in their own court, so that they will understand that he's still in his mind. He is still standing on what he said before. There is nothing you can give him to make him drop Biafra. They have given him several options. They gave him options, including speaking against Mazi Simon Ekpa. One of the options and conditions they gave Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to listen is to speak against Mazi Simon, detach yourself, de-associate yourself from Mazi Simon Ekpa. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stood his ground. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Every one of us that is from the old Southeastern Nigeria, we are the indigenous people. And this is our leader, standing on our behalf. And you want him to deny his own people. It is impossible. In the same vein, that was why our Prime Minister never denied anybody. That is why at every point in time, our Prime Minister will give the olive branch to even the criminals. The political criminals, today, our Prime Minister has given them an olive branch again to attend the convention in Finland. He told them, you are free to attend the convention in Finland. Be there, hear your opinion. Be there, express yourself. Say your own view. Make your own contribution. He has given them the option to embrace freedom and walk away from slavery, because they themselves are more enslaved than any other person. The slavery we are talking about today is much more in their life than any other person. They are more enslaved than anybody you can think of. But what do you see? They still refuse. They still refuse. You see our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speaking eloquently. For some of you who think he's not mentally okay, he can no longer take decision for himself. He doesn't know what is happening. That is why when you see some idiots that are coming online today to speak, you begin to wonder. You begin to wonder. This man that is standing before you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, very eloquent speaking, has said, I don't want anything to do with the Karawite lawyer. The idiotic lawyers have been removed, and the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu distanced himself from them. He distanced himself from all the idiotic lawyers. But today, the Delilah is still going along with the lawyers. Delilah, who claimed to be with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is today associating herself with every enemies of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, including the ones that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu named. There are some enemies Mazi Nnamdi Kanu pointed finger and say, this man don't have anything. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, Biafrans do not have anything to do with this man. Today, Delilah is dealing with the man, and Delilah even thanked the man even before the man died. Delilah was thanking the man as the person who is helping her to make her to go and see our supreme leader, even when she is supposed to be the person that is going to allow any other person to see. But it is obvious that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have deassociated himself from all these criminals, but they continue to force themselves into. But I thank you, Kabiama. Just like our Prime Minister said, we know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to be released. Immediately he's released, that will be the end of the IPOB in Nigeria. That will mark the IPOB in Nigeria will be completely dissolved. Dissolved, I mean dissolved completely. As they try to frustrate the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We will not relent. We know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu release depends on what we do as Biafran people, and we will not hesitate to take the bull by the horn and do what we have to.
So that's what you wrote. You said here, my lord, that the defendant has now applied for bail. Now, as I've said earlier, bail is a decision of the court taking into consideration all the conditions laid down in Muhammad Abacha v. State. At this stage, I am of the opinion that to make or take a stand on the bail application without first hearing and determining the issue that is glaring in the face, which is the absence of the defendant from the court since 25th of April 2017 until he was produced on the 29th of June. My lord, which was exactly what the Supreme Court did. They said that he did not jump bail. These criminals came to my house to kill me until he was produced on the 29th of June. My lord, which was exactly what the Supreme Court did. They said that he did not jump bail. These criminals came to my house to kill me. 29th of June. My lord, which was exactly what the Supreme Court did. They said that he did not jump bail. These criminals came to my house to kill me. That's what the Supreme Court said. This is in your own court, my lord. So I cannot understand, my lord, why my trial will be conducted contrary to the Constitution of Nigeria that said I must have free and unfettered access to my counsel. It's here. This is the law of Nigeria.
Now you see, the injustice against our student Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is so much. The injustice is so much. Their court has upheld and said he has not jumped to bail. He didn't. The least any sensible and reasonable court should have done is to let him go. At least to reinstate his bail. But they never did. Because he's a Biafra. Because he's asking for the freedom of his people. But it does not matter what they do. We are going to force them to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I have always told Biafrans, let me tell you, the only thing that can grant Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the freedom he deserves is Biafra. And the only people that are seriously asking for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi are the people who are focused on restoration of Biafra. The freedom of the Biafran people is the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The freedom of Biafra is the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I don't know how to explain it for you to understand. I am not praying for the kind of freedom they gave Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in 2015. That is not what I want. The kind of freedom they will give him, they will say, go home. When he go home, they will now send DSS to go and eliminate him. They will say, go home. When he go home, they will send military men to follow him at home to go and eliminate him. Just like they did in 2015. That is not the freedom Mazi Nnamdi Kanu deserves. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu deserves a freedom where he will be answerable to only Biafran people. Where he will be answerable to only the Biafran people, not to Zoological Republic, court and their government. That is the freedom Mazi Nnamdi Kanu deserves. And that is the freedom every one of us should be working towards. That is the freedom we should be working for. The zoo has no freedom to offer anybody. Freedom cannot come from the Zoological Republic. Our Prime Minister said it and made it clear. Freedom is not in the zoo. Freedom can never come from Nigeria. There is never a place you can see freedom. Freedom comes outside Nigeria. So if you are thinking that these people are going to give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the freedom he deserves, think again. If you love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, support the restoration of Biafra and pursue it with all your strength. That is when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to get the freedom he deserves. And that is what we are looking towards. He will definitely be free.
Kill me. That's what the Supreme Court said. This is in your own court, my lord. So I cannot understand, my lord, why the Supreme Court said. This is in your own criminals came to my house to kill me. That's what the Supreme Court said. This is in your own court, my lord. That he did not jump bail. These criminals came to my house to kill me. That's what the Supreme Court said. This is in your own court, my lord. That he did not jump bail. These criminals came to my house to kill me. That's what the Supreme Court said. This is in your own. They said that he did not jump bail. These criminals came to my house to kill me. That's what the Supreme Court said. This is in your own court, my lord. They said that he did not jump bail. These criminals came to my house to kill me. That's what the Supreme Court said. This is in your own court, my lord. So I cannot understand, my lord, why my trial will be conducted contrary to the Constitution of Nigeria that said I must have free and unfettered access to my counsel. Is here. This is
now you understand better. In case you don't understand before, you understand better. And I want to tell you, the stance of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is very clear. And every one of us, wherever you are, do not be intimidated. Do not be distracted. Do not be deceived. It is either freedom or nothing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be freed. And the kind of freedom we are asking, unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, not the freedom of 2015. No. That is why every one of us should support the Prime Minister Mazi Samaneba. If you are not yet following, support the government of Biafra. That is where the freedom lies. That is where the freedom lies. And I want you to hear this.
Subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism. Yes. Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person is not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct a trial. Is not done anywhere in the world. I have it in my case. Nobody there's no exception. No exception whatsoever. That's what the law says. Section 12 of the Constitution, what does it say? Any treaty ratified by Nigeria becomes law. It's law. You cannot change it. It doesn't matter what they do. All these shenanigans is just pure rubbish. You never stand. Not with me. I believe in justice and fairness, that's all.
Nigeria signed to extradite, not to rendition.
Did you hear Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speak? That is the exact situation of the case. You cannot try him. There is no way you can be on illegality and be talking about legality. It doesn't happen anywhere. It doesn't happen. You cannot stand on illegality and you'll be talking about legality. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Everything they are throwing at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today is falling on falsehood. They have no case against him. They have no case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All they are pushing is propaganda. All they are pushing is blackmail. All they are pushing is their idiotic attack coming from right, left, and center. They can't even control their idiocy. They can't control their wickedness. They display their wickedness and arrogance at every little opportunity. My fellow Biafrans, every one of us must continue to focus on what we are doing. It is what you do, what I do, that is what is going to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is what is going to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If you think all this nonsense you are hearing from right, left, and center is what is going to, it's not going to be, his freedom does not lie on any judge or any lawyer or any whatever. The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu lies in our hands. It all depends on what we do. If we want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be free, we have to change our mindset. If we want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be free, we have to be doing something differently. If you want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be free, you must begin to support the Liberation Army of Biafra. Support the Liberation Army the best way you can. That is the only way our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can be free. And today, the only man today who is pushing that button, making sure the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu happens, is our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, he's doing everything humanly possible for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, regardless the attack, the propaganda that is coming from right, left, and center, regardless what anybody is saying and how they are saying it. The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will definitely come. You that is watching me out there, do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. It doesn't matter what you see or what you hear. Don't be discouraged. We know that our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to be released. No matter what they do, no matter how they try to do it, we will definitely overcome, and we will definitely defeat them.
Terrorism Prohibition and Prevention Act says I cannot be tried in Nigeria. That's the law of Nigeria. Yes. I can never be tried in any court of law in Nigeria. That's what the law says. Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what their law says. Not me. As simple as that. Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism. Yes. Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person. Is not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct the trial. Is not done anywhere in the world. I'm having in my case. Nobody has, there's no exception. No exception whatsoever. That's what the law says. Section 12 of your constitution, what does it say? Any treaty ratified by Nigeria becomes law. It's law. You cannot change it. It doesn't matter what they do. All these shenanigans is just pure rubbish. You never stand. Not with me. I believe in justice and fairness. That's all.
That's all we're asking. We're only asking for justice and fairness. It is not begging. We are not begging you for any solution or do us any favor. All we are asking for is justice and fairness. As long as you can be able to grant justice and fairness, we are good to go. We are good to go. All we ask for is justice and fairness. If you can grant justice and fairness, we are good to go. No matter how you want to do it, no matter how angry you want to take it, no matter how you want to take it, we will go along with you. Is it a crime to be a Biafra? Is it a crime? Why is it Nigerians have made it a crime? Every other ethnic group can represent themselves with whom they are. In the public, even in their House of Senate. In the Senate, you see Ududua people presenting themselves as Ududua. You see people speaking in the Senate and they say they're from Arewa, but you can't say you are a Biafran. They wouldn't allow you to mention and say you are a Biafran. How long will we continue to tolerate this idiocy? The time has come when the Biafran will take the bull by the horn, and that time is now. No amount of propaganda is going to stop us. It is either Biafra or Biafra. Whatever attack they are planning, whatever thing they are planning against us, it will never stand. whatever strategy they are bringing, it can never stand. And we will never bow to the enemy. Let them continue in their propaganda. Let them continue in their blackmail. Let them continue in all the nonsense they are doing. We will never bow to them. We will never bow. Never, ever.
Lawyer moves today. Are you seeking an out-of-court settlement with the federal government?
It's them that is holding me. They should tell me what they want to do with me.
No, it's a direct question. Yes. Sir, are you seeking an out-of-court settlement with the federal government?
I can't seek what I didn't initiate. They are the ones that kidnapped me and brought me here. So it's whatever they say that will happen.
But your lawyer is trying to move Section 17 of the Federal High Court Act,
yes,
which calls for negotiation. Are you in line with that?
I reminded the judge of powers.
I think it's the judge's powers. I don't think it's within his powers. It's for the judge to decide.
Okay, so would you want the judge to decide that?
Yes. It is up to her discretion to do that.
Okay, but now she has sent you to the AGF. So how would you explore that particular position of the court?
Well, the prosecutor who is prosecuting by fiat is not opposed to that. He too said we can go to AGF, and we are saying AGF can also come to us. That's correct. So that means they are open to the prospects of reconciliation. That's what the law says.
Okay. He's actually putting the law what the law says.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not me.
Thank you very much, sir.
You remember that very video? That was the last time our Prime Minister, our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came to court, and they were trying to push a propaganda. They began to push a propaganda, and they say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is begging. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is begging them to remove the case. They say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was begging and asking for a negotiation outside court, but that was a lie. This is what the zoo do with their media at all times. Every time they use their own media to create a different narrative. The judge told the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to go and meet the AGF to discuss a suggestion made by the judge. Because they know the truth and their hands are tied. Now they are pushing the lawyers to go and begin to discuss and negotiate with the government. And the lawyers said the AGF himself should come to them. There is a room for such kind of meeting. The lawyer explained there's a room for such kind of a meeting where the two parties can be able to meet and discuss out of court. It was a suggestion made by the judge himself, not the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Neither is it Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has nothing to do with that suggestion. But in their media, what they began to preach in their media is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is begging and asking for negotiation. That is why some of the idiotic people in the media, they come and they think they can be able to bully us and say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be an access in their hand. That is when they begin to write different kind of conditions. But here, this is exactly on the last court that transpired. And when you hear such suggestion coming from a judge, you know they have no case against you. They have no case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why even the judge of the zoo is suggesting discussion with the zoo. But remember, any discussion that doesn't have to do with the restoration of Biafra, we are not part of it. We are standing on every single word Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spoke on that very interview that I played initially. It is either Biafra or that. That is where every Biafran stands. That is why you have the vote today. That is why you have more than 50 million people vote for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is because we are committed, even in the face of death. Even as they are burning houses and destroying, using their terrorist uniform to destroy Biafran territory, we continue to stand and demand the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And we will continue to be there. It doesn't matter how anybody feels. You can feel how you want to feel. If you know that thing that makes you happy, go ahead and hold on to it. It doesn't change the fact that we have made up our mind that we are going to walk out of the zoo. This is the last situation. Last time Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came to court, this was the situation. This was where it ended. And today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has nothing to do in their court. All they have to do is to tell him and let him go. Allow him and let him go. Unconditionally, without any condition attached. That is where we are.
Lawyer moves today. Are you seeking an out-of-court settlement with the federal government?
It's them that is holding me. They should tell me what they want to do with me.
No, it's a direct question. Yes. Sir, are you seeking an out-of-court settlement with the federal government?
I can't seek what I didn't initiate. They are the ones that kidnapped me and brought me here. So it's whatever they say that will happen.
But your lawyer is trying to move Section 17 of the Federal High Court Act, which calls for negotiation. Are you in line with that?
I reminded the judge of powers.
You see the lie? You see, the media was saying that it was the lawyer of the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that called for that very act. But the lawyer is telling her that she only reminded the judge of her responsibility of what to do, not calling for it. But you see, the media will always paint it as if it is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that is begging. The lawyer of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu only quoted the law of the land for them. Their own law. And they began to translate it, push it in the media, and preach nonsense. Because they have no case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they will never, ever have any case against him. He has won them hands down. None of their case is started. Every case is quashed and trashed. But their shame will not allow them to accept the reality of today. For us, it is either Biafran or that. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Are you seeking an out-of-court settlement with the federal government?
It's them that is holding me. They should tell me what they want to do with me.
No, it's a direct question. Yes. Sir, are you seeking an out-of-court settlement with the federal government?
I can't seek what I didn't initiate. They are the ones that kidnapped me and brought me here. So it's whatever they say that will happen.
But your lawyer is trying to move Section 17 of the Federal High Court Act, which calls for negotiation. Are you in line with that?
I reminded the judge of powers.
I think it's the judge's powers. I don't think it's within his powers. It's for the judge to decide.
Okay, so would you want the judge to decide that?
Yes. It is up to her discretion to do that.
Okay, but now she has sent you to the AGF. So how would you explore that particular position of the court?
Well, the prosecutor, who is prosecuting by fiat, is not opposed to that. He too said we can go to AGF. And we are saying AGF can also come to us. That's correct. So that means they are open to the prospects of reconciliation. That's what the law says.
Okay. He's actually quoting the law, what the law says.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not me.
Thank you very much, sir.
You see, every one of us as Biafrans, you must know that the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu lies in your hand. The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu lies in your hands. It does not lie in the court. The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu lies in our hands. It does not lie in the court. And we must always understand that. Always understand that. We must do everything humanly possible to see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released unconditionally. Do not pay attention to the blackmail of the enemy, the propaganda you hear. It is we that will release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why everybody needs to stand up and begin to do something. Begin to do something. Join the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Join him. In case you forgot, 2015, when they held Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the government of Nigeria did not release him out of their will. The government of Nigeria did not release him because they wanted to. 2015, when he was arrested, he was released because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was giving them woto. He was giving them release because the Niger Delta Avengers came to the front line and they were giving them woto. When Niger Delta Avengers came on board, they gave their order and they said the first condition they gave was to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu after they were blowing up all the pipe in the Niger Delta area. They were blowing up all the oil pipe. They hijacked ship in the high sea. And the condition they gave was first, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now you understand. If you want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu released, It is not by clapping hand and jumping. You must do something. The only language the zoo understand is the language of force. That is why today, the only man I can tell you that is genuinely fighting for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is our Prime Minister, Mazi, the government of Biafra, and you and I, who are standing behind him. We are the only ones that are concerned about the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And it is what we do that will activate the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Nothing anymore, nothing. There is nothing anybody can do on this. It is what you do that will empower them, to make them. They will have no choice than to let go. Remember the word of our Prime Minister. Our Prime Minister made it very clear that we are going to make the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu useless in their hand. Today, it is useless. They now understand that it's useless. They know that kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today is much more expensive than leaving him outside. And they have no choice than to let him go. Today, everything in the zoo is crashing. The economy of the zoo is crashing. Their terrorists in uniform, they are nowhere to be found. They are resigning in thousands. Companies are leaving the zoo. Everything is happening because the government of Biafra, under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi, is taking the right step. The calamity that has befallen the zoo today is not just happening. It is happening because somebody is doing something. It is happening because somebody has woken up and said enough is enough. It is happening because somebody has taken responsibility to see that freedom comes. My fellow Biafra, it is a day dedicated to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. For those of us who watch it, we have almost 400 people watching online live. More than 400 people watching. If you have a contribution to make, don't hesitate to use that link. There's a link I posted there. I don't know why people are not coming in. What are you afraid of? Feel free to come in, click the link, come in and air your opinion. Make your contribution. Whatever be your contribution, click the link and come in and make your contribution. If you want to say a prayer to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, come in and say a prayer for our school, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If you have an argument or a question, bring it forth. Today is dedicated to our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because we know that his freedom is going to come. The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not in the hand of man. Is in the hand of Chukwu Gabiam, and at an appointed time, he is going to join us. And that appointed time is here. Feel free to join. Click the link and come in and air your opinion. It is a very special day. It has to be an interactive section. While we are waiting for updates that are coming, once I get an update, I'll make an announcement on the update, and we will continue to go further and speak on this very matter. One thing that everybody that is watching this program should have at mind is that the supreme leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has no case in the zoo. And just like our Prime Minister said, they have nothing to try him for. You can't try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There is nothing to try. All they need to do is to let him go. There is nothing to try. Nothing to try. No single case against him. Nothing. You cannot stand on illegality and you'll be talking of legality. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. There's no way you will be standing on illegality and you will be talking of legality. You have to first of all, obey the law. A country that does not obey its own law, you don't obey international law. You violated international treaties. Treaties that you signed by yourself. Treaties you signed by yourself. We don't care. And because you are not being punished for your evil, you feel it is okay to do it again and again and again. And that is why today you see them behaving, doing whatever they like. You see them taking innocent life. You see them committing genocide. And even after committing genocide, they will boldly go out and begin to call the ICC, begin to call Amnesty International, even when the ICC already has evidence of the genocide against Biafrans. Before anybody under Nigerian government will call the ICC, you first of all produce those who has committed genocide against Biafran people in 1967. Provide every one of them and prosecute them. But today, Nigeria is celebrating the people that committed genocide against Biafra in Nigeria. The country, Nigeria, is celebrating those that committed genocide against Biafran people. They are still alive. So many of them are still alive. They celebrate them. They build monuments, those of them that are died, they build monuments to celebrate them. They build monuments to celebrate. If Nigeria were to be a nation, Murtala Muhammad should not be remembered anywhere. The name Murtala Muhammad cannot be mentioned anywhere. The name Murtala Muhammad should have been out of ban. A man that superheaded the Asaba massacre. But today, this is a man whom, if you call Nigeria, the first thing to remember is Murtala Muhammad Airport. Nigeria today is identified with the name of a man that committed genocide. The man who superheaded it by himself, Murtala Muhammad. And this is how they celebrate many of them. And you have the God to call ICC. Before you talk about ICC, you first of all go and answer your case. Your case is lined up there. We have submitted so many cases, filed so many cases. Those filed by Mazi and Nnamdi Kanu, and those that are filed by our Prime Minister Mazi recently. A very lawless country. You saw in recent days. In recent days, we saw that they went and they used one of their criminal they put in the AU, went and truncated the petition we wrote against the rule. Everywhere you find them, they are corrupt. Everywhere you find Nigerian officials, they are always corrupt. Bunch of corrupt fools. Very, very corrupt. They never make contribution in anything. They never contribute in anything. They never seek for the success of the people. And they never speak the truth. Always lawless, any place you find them. Nigerians represent evil. They represent everything that is wrong. They represent disorderliness. That is why we, the Biafrans, do not want to be part of that. We don't want to be part of it. Never. If anybody wants to be in that zoological republic, go ahead. Go ahead. You are free to be part of it if you want to. But those who do not want to be part of it, please allow us to go. Allow us to go. Today, the man you are bringing to court has not committed any crime. He has not done anything wrong anywhere. He has not committed any crime. But today, you are bringing him to your court. You're bringing him to your court in the zoo. Even when you know he has not committed any crime against international law. A man who you have violated all his rights. And your own court have said, release this man and let him go. Your own court will not, your own court say release him and let him go. Yes, you couldn't release him. You are still holding him captive. You are bragging. You are showing your muscle. It is not going to be for too long. It is not going to be for too long. The silence of the Biafrans will not be for too long. When the time comes, we are going to respond. We are going to respond. As I said before, time has gone when we remain on defense. There was a time when Biafrans were always on defensive. Every time defending. We are no longer on defensive. Today we are in offensive. We are in offensive today. That is why very major steps are being taken today. Moves are being made. That is why today the Biafran government is taking major steps on different areas, taking major steps on different angles, moving mountains without looking back, and we will continue to do so. Whether the zoo like it or not, Biafra have come to stay. And the world must accept it. The world must accept the reality of Biafra. There is nothing anybody can do. There's nothing you can do to change it. Biafra has come to stay. And that is the deal of the day. Whether you like it or you don't like it, it is either Biafra or death. Just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said. And we will continue to pursue the restoration of independence of Biafra until Biafra is restored. The enemies of Biafra are speaking and acting out on different angles. No matter what they do, no matter how they try to distract us, no matter how they try to push their evil agenda, we will not be distracted. Wherever you are today, the only thing you can do is to support the restoration of independence of Biafra through the Biafran government. That is the way to go. Biafran government is the way to go. Biafran government is the only solution. The earlier you understand that, the better for you. There is no way, no other way for us. No other way except Biafra. And the earlier every one of us understand this truth, the better for all of us. You cannot find safety anywhere. You cannot find security anywhere. You cannot find peace or freedom anywhere. You cannot find safety or security anywhere except in Biafra. And the time has come. It is time for us to accept the reality of today. Accept the reality. And the reality is Biafra. There is no propaganda of the enemies that is going to do the job for you. No blackmail will make us stop asking for Biafra. And I want you to know this and know it. Know this and know peace. Biafra have come. Every one of us that think that Biafra restoration is not real, it is real. And if you care about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you love him and you want him to be free, this is the time for you to channel your energy on the restoration of Biafra. Channel your energy on the restoration of Biafra. If you care about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if you care, truly, sincerely care about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, channel your energy on restoration of Biafra, because when Biafra is restored, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be freed. The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the only thing that will guarantee the restoration of Biafra. There is nothing else anyone can say or do. We are waiting and looking forward with all updates. I'm just checking to see if I can find some updates that is coming. Even if we don't get any updates, we are still going to get it. If I don't bring them now, later in the day, we are going to bring them forward. the supreme leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is a man of his word. He has been working fearlessly and gallantly for the restoration of independence of the state of Biafra and continue to fight for us in the forefront. It does not matter the propaganda they bring. It doesn't matter their blackmail. It doesn't matter what they throw at us. What we know is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be freed. So wherever you are and you are watching this program, I urge you, always remember to pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, pray for the government of Biafra, pray for our Prime Minister, and never allow anybody to distract you or deceive you. We have come, and as we have come, we will be free. No amount of disappointment is going to make us stop. Every one of us must be focused. The only thing that is going to trigger the release of Pakistan is our threat. That is what will trigger it. If you think that they will just release it without the fight.
Please, we are asking you to stay tuned. We believe that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has arrived, but we've not confirmed. So as soon as we do confirm, we are going to get back to you. So you should stay tuned because we are going to be coming back live shortly. Let us still gather more information on what is happening.
Every one of us should continue to do whatever we know we can do to make sure that we do our part and get Biafra. The enemies of Biafra will never stop. They will never stop. It doesn't matter how you try. They will never stop. They will continue to fight and they will continue to fight and continue to fight. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that you all know, he's human. And there are some level that a human being can carry. So we must have to support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in our own way by making sure we continue to fight in the front. As Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting, we also have to be fighting on our own way. Always remember that the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in your hand. The release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the hand of the Biafra. Nobody can do it for him except you and I. We thank Chukwu that today we have the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra, standing in the forefront, making sure that things happen. I want you to remember, 2015, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was released by force. The Avengers, through the leadership of Tombolo, forced the zoo to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The Avengers forced the zoo by force to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu release was good first. That is what our brothers in the Nigeria did. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appreciated them so much. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu doesn't joke them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made it clear that every Biafra must be free. After we free ourselves, every region can go back to themselves. You can go back to your region and do what you want to do. But we have to fight ourselves. We must fight and free ourselves. After we got our freedom, then everybody can go their separate ways. But as it stands today, we must fight for our freedom. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are on the planet Earth, always remember that our freedom can only be guaranteed in Biafra, including the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It can only be guaranteed in Biafra. If you are one of those praying for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for the kind of freedom they gave him in 2015, I don't want that kind of freedom. The kind of freedom I want for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a freedom that is going to be permanent. I want him to be free in such a way that he will never ever be accountable to any other government except the government of Biafra. The position of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the government is there waiting for him. As soon as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released, IPOB Nigeria will end. It will be dissolved, totally and completely dissolved. It will be dissolved. Everyone today that is standing behind our Prime Minister Mazi stand strong. If you're standing with Mazi stand strong. Don't allow any idiot to deceive you. Don't allow any idiot to distract you. It is only those who are not following the words of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, those who are not obedient to the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are the people that are being deceived. As for those of us who are the true students of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, those of us who are the students of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, listening to every single instruction and obeying it, we are not moved, neither will we shake. And for you to know, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no case in the court of the zoo. Everything you are seeing in their court is just drama. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no case in the court of the zoo. He has no case. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no case in the court of the zoo. Hear me clearly, he has no case in the court of the zoo. Everything you are seeing today is just propaganda. Their own court has confirmed it. A judge in their court said that no law court has the right to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because the country, Nigeria, has committed illegality by kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya. Extraordinary rendition is a crime, an international crime. Extraordinary rendition is an international crime that the government of Nigeria must be punished for. They are supposed to be punished for that crime. But because the Western interests, because of the Western interests, they have continued to survive in that criminality. They continue to survive in that evil. They continue to explore in that evil. But my fellow Biafrans, I tell you, no matter what you see or hear, don't allow anyone to distract you. Our freedom is sure. For you to hear clearly that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not jumped bail and has no case, I want to make it known to you. On the last court, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made it very clear to them, whether they like it or not, they must embrace that hard truth. They must hear it. They must hear that hard truth.
Here, my lord, that the defendant has now applied for bail. Now, as I've said earlier, bail is a decision of the court, taking into consideration all the conditions laid down in Muhammad Abacha v. State. At this stage, I am of the opinion that to make or take a stand on the bail application without first hearing and determining the issue that is glaring in the face, which is the absence of the defendant from the court since 25th of April 2017 until he was produced on the 29th of June. My lord, which was exactly what the Supreme Court did. They said that he did not jump bail. These criminals came to my house to kill me. That's what the Supreme Court said. This is in your own ruling, in your own court, my lord. So I cannot understand, my lord, why my trial will be conducted contrary to the Constitution of Nigeria, that said I must have free and unfettered access to my counsel, is here. This is the law of Nigeria.
That is the law of their land, but they don't obey their law. The zoo never obey their own law. They don't. Zoological Republic don't obey their own law. And that is why the Biafrans can no longer be part of that zoo. A contraption that does not obey their own law. A country that is full of illegality. Full of illegality. Full of illegality. In that contraption, we will never be part of it. We will never be part of it. No matter what they try to do, and no matter how they try it, we will never be part of that zoological republic. And I think our supreme leader should be in court by now. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be in court. Then we are going to wait for the update. Once we have an update, we are going to be sharing updates. We wait for updates to come up. Once we get an update, we will share the updates and let Biafrans know the situation of things. My fellow Biafrans, do not get distracted. Do not allow anybody to bamboozle you or bully you into believing falsehood. The truth of the matter remains that the restoration of independent state of Biafra is going to happen, whether they like it or not. Whether they like it or not, it is going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm not sure you can hear the voice out there. Thank you. Those watching on Facebook, I think I have to go off Facebook so I can be able to make some other research. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is already in court.
All of you will get dire. You don't say you get.
Yeah, so we are waiting. Let's see if we can have more updates. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in court already. Of course, when the court is on, we might not have some other videos that are coming. We will not have a video from inside the court when the sitting is going on. So let's see if we can have more other videos and then we are going to share. Well, we know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in court already.
Sorry, my love. Sorry.
People that are in jail and suffering from it. It's normal. My primary concern is to stop insecurity. It's an end to stop. What's the kind of stop? And they don't.
So those who believe that either benefit or property for that's all. Again, and suffering from is not the my primary concern is the public security. It's a little stop. What's the kind of stop? They don't. So those who believe that either benefit or property from this that's all. Again, the people that have and suffering from is not my primary concern is the public security. It's a little stop. What's the kind of stop? They don't. So those who believe that
So we are still going to try and get some more informations there. Let's see if we can get more.
The people that are in jail and suffering from is not my primary concern is to stop the security. It's a little stop. What's the kind of stop? They don't. So those
talked about conception, if you don't mind. Has that made any progress to what has we've been able to meet with them at first.
have you entered this very issue? No. It has to be after court. We can talk about that. We're here for the judicial proceeding. Absolutely. We're here for the judicial proceedings. We're here for the we can address the other one.
And we have written a letter to them that they have not replied.
Yes, they are not responding. So what are you
Easiest and fastest way to grow your army to make it.
So we can see that our what's this one. Our supreme leader is already there, and doing the needful. Just wait for the updates. We have seen our supreme leader is now in court, so let's wait for the update. And as soon as we have the update, we can be able to come back and give you the updates. I appreciate everybody have been with us. I need to make some other research because we don't have to miss anything. I have to end the program so that we can be able to come back later on and conclude on what is actually happening. Let's find out and get out the solutions, and then we can come back. Thank you all that have joined me. Please share the broadcast. Our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is already in court, and we have to do our own part now to make sure we get the information out and put things in its perspective. I still have some other issues to go do now. Let me do some other things I have to do, get other information I have to get across to, because I've been getting some calls while we are in this very program. While we are in the program, I'm getting some other calls. I have to attend to them, then I will come back. It's unfortunate that nobody wants to come out and make their contributions, but all the same, we will still digest whatever be the outcome today. We will come back and digest it. And I'm going to come back in the evening time. Later on, I will still come back and we will continue from where we start. Thank you so much for being part of the program. May Chukwu guide and protect every one of you that have joined us. May Chukwu guide and protect you, guide you and protect your family, guide and protect our supreme leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today as he appears in court. We pray that Chukwu will continue to strengthen him, give him more strength. As he is in the court today, let Chukwu speak through him and let something happen. Our trust is in Chukwu. We don't believe in the court of the zoo. We don't believe in the lawyers or anybody. Our trust is on Chukwu, and we know he's going to save his own disciple. He's going to make his own son free. Fellow Biafran, I appreciate every one of you, and we pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for victory today. We pray for Biafran people for victory. As Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in court, every one of us, we are in court at the same time with him. Let us pray for victory for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and we believe that he's going to come out victorious. Thank you so much for being part of the program. Stay blessed, and we're going to be back again to continue where we stop and bring more updates. Please, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, subscribe. This is a channel that is under Biafran government, under the command of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the supreme command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is where we stand. If you have not shared this program, share it. Click like and share. Click like and share. Subscribe if you have not now. Subscribe. We are going to come back and continue the program. Thank you so much and stay blessed.